What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So today we are recording another video. It is currently February 9th, the day before trade deadline day, which is tomorrow, and all for the NBA. And we are going to be looking at some of these trades. I'm going to be giving my thoughts on the NBA standings of now, like what they're going to be probably looking like, what teams just made or just like did they just make or did they break their seasons? Let's get into it. So first up, we're gonna only be doing like these last couple days, just a week, the deadline week. February 4th, Clippers load up. Clippers receive guard Norman Powell, forward Robert Covington. Trailblazers receive guard Eric Bledsoe, forward Justice Winslow, guard Keon Johnson, second round pick 2025. Now, I don't care what a Portland fan has to say to defend themselves here. Don't care if Lillard is hurt this season. I don't care. You just traded the pick for Isaiah Stewart in the Covington deal, traded Gary Trent Jr. in the Norman Powell deal, and you just gave up both of those guys in exchange for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, and Keon Johnson. I mean, for the Clippers, hey, that's a steal. As soon as you get Kawhi and Paul George back, bang, bang. You're doing really good. You have a lot of depth now, both at the power forward and small forward and shooting guard positions now. You're looking really nice. A plus trade for you guys. Blazers, that was your first dumb trade at the deadline. What are you doing? In my opinion, that I'm gonna give that a D minus on your part. That was not good whatsoever. Next up, Cavs add Levert for lottery protected first. Okay, so Cavaliers receive guard Karis LeVert, second round pick in 2022. Pacers receive guard Ricky Rubio, first round pick 2022, second round pick in 2022, and second round pick in 2027. Cavs have been sneaky good this season, and it makes sense. Right now, they're like fourth or fifth in the East, middle of the pack. You want to really maintain your standing. Garland, Mobley, Allen, these guys have all taken the big steps this year. So Karis LeVert, just adding that wing to your team, I think is a really big move, really good move because Rubio is hurt for the rest of the year, and this is a lottery protected pick, I believe. So if you miss the playoffs, then I think you'll have the pick back, which I doubt you'll miss because they're just on fire lately, and I love the addition of Karis LeVert. So good on the Cavs. I'm gonna give them an A. And the Pacers, they actually got some good draft capital out of it. I'll give them a B because they actually handled Karis LeVert's trade value pretty well. I like the move. I really do. Now this one is just gonna piss me off. Pelicans land McCollum in multiplayer deal. Okay, Pelicans receive CJ McCollum, forward Larry Nance Jr., guard Tony Snell. Blazers receive forward Josh Hart, guard Thomas Satoransky, guard Nikhil Alexander Walker, forward Didi Lauzada, first round pick 2022, second round pick 2026, second round pick 2027. So this Didi guy, I don't know who he is. Josh Hart, I believe, is on an expiring deal. And then Tomas Satoransky, his like NBA is he's always been like a bench player, a role player at best. Nikhil Alexander Walker is the only decent thing in this trade for this team, so I'm gonna probably give them. Listen, Pelicans. I won't say you fleeced them, but you did actually do really well here. I'm gonna give you an A minus. You got McCollum. That was a really good move on your end. Larry Nance Jr. is also good to fill in at the power forward for the time being. The Blazers on your end, I guess that's like a C minus kind of return. First round pick, Nikhil Alexander Walker, and whatever value Josh Hart still has to your team. Sure, that's great. This one stunned me. Like, this one just had me confused. Two teams who have approximately 20 wins in like 55 games. Pacers trade Sabonis to Kings for package including Halliburton and Heald. That's right. So the Kings decided to trade Tyrese Halliburton and guard Buddy Hield as well, center Tristan Thompson to the Pacers in exchange for Domantas Sabonis forward, guard Jeremy Lamb, and forward Justin Holiday, and his 2027 second round pick. The problem that I mainly have with this is has to be the fact that like Kings, if you're trading anybody, you should have been trading De'Aaron Fox. That was a dumb move on your part. Sure. Oh, you got Sabonis. That's fantastic. But you want to build around Halliburton, not Fox. Sabonis might be in his prime right now. We don't know. He could fall off next season. Halliburton is showing so many signs of potential. It's not funny right now. So, and plus, Buddy Hield's in there too, and he's actually still a really good player. I don't know. Maybe the Pacers do trade him. We'll see what they do. But anyways, Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, Kings for what you got. Okay, I guess it was worth what you gave up in a way. I'm gonna probably give the Kings a C. Pacers, the objective was to sell, and you actually sold well, and you did get Halliburton out of this deal. I'm gonna give you an A. That was good. Jazz acquire Alexander Walker, Hernangomez in three. Wait. Slow down. What? So Jazz received guard Nikhil Alexander Walker. So you just traded him today, and I just saw this now. Okay, so for CJ McCollum, I'm not even gonna finish. For CJ McCollum, the Blazers really just got Josh Hart, Joe Ingles, and Elijah Hughes, and and like 3 second round picks. That's the worst return for above average player. The worst return I've ever seen. That is atrocious, bro. Spurs, it doesn't mean much to them, so I'm gonna give them a C just because like it's an average grade. Jazz, Nikhil Alexander Walker for Joe Ingles. Joe's at the end of his prime. That I'm gonna give them probably a B plus. Because we don't know how well Alexander Walker can be. He can make this trade an A for them. But the Blazers step in the wrong direction once again. That's another D. Another D. Okay, next up we have February 10th. Bagley DiVincenzo involved in a 14 transaction. Now this one's a little bit all over the place, but simply enough, biggest move probably Pistons get Marvin Bagley from the Kings. Kings in exchange get Dante DiVincenzo from the Bucks. Bucks get Serge Ibaka from the Clippers, and the Clippers get Rodney Hood from I don't know which of these teams. It is such a I think from the Bucks. I think from the Bucks actually. Okay. Now it's all over the place. There's other players thrown in here too. I think Pistons. Let's see what they can do with Bagley. They didn't give up much. I think Trey Lyles and Josh Jackson is all they gave up. So it's not too bad for the Pistons. I'll give them a probably an B, B minus. I'd say. Kings Bagley unfortunately didn't pan out as a draft pick, and in exchange you got a couple depth guys in Dante DiVincenzo. I'm gonna give you probably give you guys a B minus. Bucks received Serge Ibaka. I guess DiVincenzo's been struggling, and Ibaka's another big guy in the lineup. So for you guys, another average like B minus. Like I don't know what some of this means. This is pretty much just a random 4 team trade that was thrown out there. Clippers, again, nothing much. You really just gave up Ibaka, which to me that made no sense. I think you guys get the C here. That was confusing. Raptors send Dragic to Spurs for Young. So Raptors receive forward Thaddeus Young, forward Drew Eubanks, who we just bought out, and second round pick. And then Spurs received guard Goran Dragic and a protected first round pick. I don't know why Raptors gave up a first round pick here, but we got rid of Goran Dragic, which we wanted to. Thaddeus Young, we add to the collection of 6'9" power forwards. And again, Raptors, we didn't capitalize what kind of value that Dragic possibly could have had. I think I'd give us a C for this trade. Spurs, Raptors are most likely making the playoffs, I'd say. Just based on our seed alone, that would just like further determine the grade here, but I'll give the Spurs for this deal probably a B. The biggest trade of the day. Nets Sixers complete blockbuster Harden Simmons swap. Sixers receive guard James Harden, forward Paul Millsap, and the Nets receive guard Ben Simmons, guard Seth Curry, center Andre Drummond, first round pick, and a protected first round pick. Sixers, we got Harden. Harden and Embiid together. Who knows what these guys are capable of? They didn't give up Green, Harris, or Maxey. That's a really good move. Your lineup is looking really nice. I'm gonna give the Sixers an A on this. Simmons wasn't playing. That's fine. Curry's replaceable by Harden and Andre Drummond. Um, who knows how much he was doing personally? I don't know how that much. But anyways, for the Nets on your end, if Ben Simmons wants to start playing again, you actually got a pretty good haul out of this trade. And if Kyrie comes back as well, you guys do still have a really scary team. Plus Seth Curry to help shoot the ball. Plus you're gonna have some guys still on the bench. Andre Drummond is now on the team too. Some big man depth, which is kind of what you need. This was not a bad trade for both sides. Both sides win. Both sides get an A here. Small trade. Celtics receive guard Derek White. Spurs receive Josh Richardson and guard Romeo Langford, as well as a first round pick. Yeah, I guess Celtics just went ahead and got a better improvement for Josh Richardson. Had to give up a little bit more, but it's not that much. Probably just gonna give it a B, and then just B trade all around for both teams. Montrezl Harrell actually got traded to the Hornets. I guess he could maybe run the center rather than Plumlee. Ish Smith, Vernon Carey Jr., and a second round pick go the other way. Hornets ain't giving up that much. Wizards are just going into some random mode at this point. I don't know what they're in. But the Hornets, I'm going to give them definitely probably a B because they needed to fill that center position. Harrell, if he's doing well, can fill said center position. And the Wizards, that was I don't know how well Harrell's doing as of late, but that was not really capitalizing the value that I thought he had. I'm gonna give you guys a C minus. Dallas sends Porzingis to DC for Dinwiddie and Bertans. So Wizards receive forward Kristaps Porzingis and a second round pick. Mavericks receive guard Spencer Dinwiddie and forward Davis Bertans. That's good though for the Mavericks. I think you need a Luka just needs help. I think Dinwiddie does help him. Bertans is a little bit of a downgrade from Porzingis when Porzingis is at his best. But I think both guys would fit in well with Luka. They'll definitely help out. Porzingis going to the Wizards. Now this just doesn't make much sense to me. Like I don't know. I really don't know what to think of this on the Wizards aspect. Mavericks, that was a decent 2-for-1. I'll give you guys a B. And the Wizards, I'm just C for confused. Celtics receive Daniel Tice. They reacquire him in exchange for the Rockets receive guard Dennis Schroeder, center Ines Cantor Freedom, and center Bruno Fernando. Yes, Ines Freedom. Cantor changed his last name to Freedom legally. You do you, man. Anyway, um, yeah. So Rockets, they're just selling guys at this point. Did the Celtics give up a bit much? Potentially. Is Daniel Tice proven to actually not be that bad? Yeah, I'd say so. So Rockets doesn't matter much for you guys. You just get a C because it doesn't matter. And then the Celtics, you sold a couple pieces that were just getting some minutes. Daniel Tice, I remember Raptors going against Celtics in the 2020 bubble, and he was all over the place. He was actually really good. I think if the Celtics get that version back, they do easily win this trade. They get a B plus as of right now, just because as some people like to call him, Daniel Tice. He actually has some really good potential onto him, attached to him, so that's good. I like it, guys. That is my opinion on the trade deadline. Easily, some of the winners have to be both the Nets and Philly. They both traded some guys who were frustrated, and now they're going to hopefully thrive with their new teams. Pacers made out like bandits trading with some of the guys they had. Miles Turner stayed put though, but that's fine. And losers of the deadline, I think it's fairly obvious that somehow the Wizards are still in a place where they don't have an identity, even after trading away Harrell, but somehow getting Porzingis in return after a couple more trades. And then finally, Portland. You didn't deal anybody else. You should have traded Nurkic, in my opinion, if you're selling everybody. But it is what it is. But with that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching my opinion on all of these NBA deadline reactions. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.